What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fair Shake Podcast. I'm your host, Felipe Savage, and with me, as always, my incredible lineup of co-hosts. But without further ado, Fats, take it away.
What it do, everyone? It's your boy Fats. The beast is in the building. Very excited for this episode, as always, with my peeps. Gonna pass it on to El Champion. Chris, take it away.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Chris, aka Killer Ghost, also known as the Fair Shake Champion. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast, and I'm gonna pass it over to Kev.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? It's your boy, young boy Keeve, aka Kev. I'm really excited for this. Just want to say welcome, everybody. We appreciate y'all and we love y'all. Pass it into my man's bro.
Good morning, good evening, good time of any time of the day before you guys start your day. Thanks for coming back for another episode of the Fair Shake Podcast. And I really think this is going to be a great episode. Now on to the show.
From Boston?
Amazing as always. Oh man,
From Boston,
guys,
bro?
That what?
You from Boston? The podcast?
the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
It's Mr. International right
Don't
there.
tell anybody I'm
This guy
actually
works
an
on-
undercover agent.
I'm pretty
I'm a
sure.
sleeper agent.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he just stays at home working on impressions. I swear. But again, let's hop right into it, boys. So this week,
boy. Let's pass.
what?
Go ahead. I'm just fucking around now. This
I swear. Oh man, let's hop right into it, boys. So this week, I'm hanging out with the kids and I'm just watching these cartoons with them because that's all kids seem to watch. And I started thinking, man, ain't nothing like the '90s cartoons. Nothing like the '90s cartoons.
Amen.
Classics. And the number one cartoon that used to stick out of me, like it might be very early 2000s. No, it's probably '90s. Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh, that was 90s.
Oh,
early
definitely
2000s.
none of these.
That was '90s. Got you.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure I'm in the right era. But Rocco's, like that was me.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that show had a 4-year run.
Really, man. It felt like 20 years. I watched reruns nonstop, thinking there was new eps.
If I'm not mistaken, it might be on Netflix as well.
Oh,
So, yeah, lit.
We need
Talk
to stop
to me.
shouting out Netflix. We don't get paid by them.
Well, maybe they should pay us. Netflix,
Hulu has live
hit
sports.
us up.
Literally, you know that episode. The episode. Now I'm all over the place. In Avengers, when everybody axes Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk, what's his power, or whatever, and he's like, my power is that I'm always angry. I swear to God, that's Keith.
I'm just mad for nothing. No, but yeah, guys, for me personally, 90s cartoons trumps every cartoon era.
I'm gonna
And
just hold up. I'm gonna throw a bone your way. I actually like Adventure Time and Steven Universe, but
Oof.
And
Yeah.
Nah, but that doesn't top.
I also
that
like
isn't-
Rick and Morty.
That doesn't top. Those are good, but they're not classics. They're not classics yet. Yeah, but that's to kids and they were born in the 2000s. They're gonna remember Rick and Morty. They're gonna remember Steven Universe and all that. But for me and for us, I'm pretty sure us is the 90s. And Rocco's Modern Life was hands down one of my favorite all time.
I've always hated that fucking turtle on that show. Like, he was such a fucking asshole. Like, he would say and do things that would annoy you, but it's like
Animal.
I hated that fucking turtle, that rat bastard.
But it was just a well put together cartoon. I love the way it was drawn up. I love the punchlines and the funny stuff. Like, it was just like, to me as a kid, I just like the goofy. So I like the goofy cartoons, and that was one of the more goofy cartoons for me personally. But how about you guys? What is like one of like the '90s cartoons that y'all really grew up with, liking and enjoying?
I can sit here and literally go on days on cartoons from the '90s. That's basically, besides games, is what I grew up on.
Right.
I was that type of child where my mom didn't allow me to go outside. So it was either games, cartoons, or cleaning. It's one of the three. So
Man, that's not a lot of good choices. Well, two of them are.
so cartoons was a real big impact in my life, and even to this day, I'm still watching cartoons. Besides anime, real big cartoons that I used to watch, and if they bring them back, I will rewatch them over and over again. And they actually brought back one of them that I'm actually still watching, and it's Gargoyles.
Oh, it's on Disney
Oh,
Plus, right?
Yeah, and
that was a good one.
I'm sorry,
it's
Keith. Don't beat me up. I'm not putting in a plug.
Oh, nah.
and Gargoyles for me was that cartoon. It had action, and it was things that you wouldn't see in real life. You would see a gargoyle. Oh, I wonder, as a kid, I wonder when it turns night, does this shit appear and flies away or whatever. But that's that one, and I have
Imagination's
to,
a hell of a drug.
and I got to give it Static Shock. I think was another
Static
'90s
Shock
Oh.
cartoon,
wave. That's old school.
I loved that show. That show was good.
and I loved them. Like I said, I could go on, and I give you 20 cartoons top of the head, rapid fire, and I'm pretty sure y'all all agree on all 20 of them. But I don't want to,
I don't want to be
into
that
it.
Let's
guy.
give him a fair
Yeah.
shake. I'm gonna count them off.
I don't want to
Rapid
be
fire.
that guy.
Rapid fire.
Yeah, and then I might do the 20, and then I don't want to take up anybody else's picks or whatever.
Static
So I'm
Shock started in 2000 to 2004.
Ooh.
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 all right, so you being that guy. So I'm gonna do the 20 rapid fire then for you.
He's the
Get my
kind of guy
fingers
that
ready to
he's
check.
the kind of guy that 12 o'clock hits around and he's like, yeah, it's already the new day, and you're like, the fuck? No, tomorrow we wake up.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, fine. If it's not Static Shock, I'll give you another one. SWAT Cats is another
Fire.
of my
Why you took
all-time
mine?
favorites. Because you bone picked mine. You another one, Mighty Mice from Mars. Yeah, but some of those cartoons were my favorite. I hope one day somebody let's bring these back and just puts it on some streaming network so that way I can watch it.
You said SWAT Cats. One of my favorite shows that I liked with SWAT Cats was remember Street Sharks?
Oh yeah,
Yo, that shit was
of
fire.
course.
We used to be me and my brothers, we used to be the Street Sharks and shit, and I was the Great White always, and baby, I used to be like, oh, he's the Hammerhead because he's ugly, but
Wow, that's crazy.
That's fucked up.
That's crazy.
I'm not a cute kid. I understand.
Damn.
Jeez, man. Yeah, every time he called me the Hammerhead Shark, I want to just, I want to be the Great White Shark. Mom, he's making me the Hammerhead. Dude, he always made me the bad guy. Like I swear, in Power Rangers, I was never a Ranger. I was either Zordon because I was fat,
or the putty soldier,
or I was the robot. Oh my god, man! I was never. I just want to be the Black Ranger.
How about you, Chris? Since you want to chop off my son's legs?
Word.
Static Shock was 2000.
I just had to say it, bro. Before one of the listeners comments. Spider-Man, the animated series.
Oh, that was the
That was
good
on
one.
Fox. Yeah, that was fire. What else? I don't know about you guys, but I used to watch. I don't know if this. Whatever. I used to watch Sailor Moon when I was younger too.
What?
Are we counting anime at that time also?
I mean,
nah, I don't think we should count anime because everybody be on the DBZ wave.
It's a cartoon. Well,
right,
I guess.
So
we can stray away from the anime.
If it was aired on Toonami, it can't be a cartoon. Like it can't be up for consideration.
We
Yeah.
can't say
So-
Inuyasha.
Dexter's Lab,
Don't be that guy.
Dexter's Laboratory. That's one. That's
Oh, I
another
love
one.
that show.
Um,
idiot.
of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What's on
Oh,
man?
I
Dog?
love
Another
that one.
great one.
Hey, Donatello.
Powerpuff Girls.
Sugar, spice,
And
and
you
everything nice.
Would
These were the
Pokemon be an
perfect
anime?
ingredients to make the girls.
Nah, Pokemon's a cartoon. That's a cartoon.
So Pokemon, the
That's a
original,
cartoon. OG.
and Johnny Bravo. That was another one.
Oh,
Of my favorites.
Oh, Johnny Bravo,
Johnny.
that's the girl with the ladies. Hoo-ha-hoo. Hey,
Yo, this guy, I'm telling you,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
he works
He's-
on his
He's the
impersonations.
man of 1,000 impersonations. Man.
That's it, man.
Those are mine. Those are mine.
Oh man, Kev, how about you, brother?
I favorite cartoons. I was born in the middle of '90s, so I'm not really too sure. I'm like, yeah, some old heads.
Watch your mouth there.
I would have to say like, Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is one of my favorites.
Oh,
It's them going back and forth, going at it. It was always on site. Thundercats was one of my favorite as well.
oh, that's a good one.
That's
love-
old.
I love Scooby Doo. I used to love
I'm
Scooby
an
Doo.
old
I used to
man
watch it with my
trapped in a
grandmother all
little
the
kid's
time.
body.
There's Benjamin Button.
And I think like my all
man.
time would have to be, like I said, Tom and Jerry, but also SpongeBob. Like I remember early, like when I used to go to school
Yeah,
early in the
SpongeBob definitely
morning.
counts.
I used to go to school late because I used to stay home watching SpongeBob.
Oh man,
Yeah,
SpongeBob is a classic.
For
100%.
real. And then all the memes that you get from SpongeBob too now.
Yeah. I'm gonna get out here now.
Jeez.
Um,
Oh my god, you guys.
I can't get over it. It's so funny.
So so we spoke about 90s, right?
Wait,
Nah.
I didn't share mine. Okay, my bad.
My man, you
say what
said Street Sharks. You was the great
No,
one.
I said I bounce off him. Hold
I
on.
got one more.
Real quick, if we're gonna say this, let me get my point. Give me the fair shake. Can I get a fair shake?
Give him a fair shake, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, I'm gonna give myself the fair shake. Listen,
Hey yo.
what my mom my mom used to put the cable on the our names or whatever.
I have bad credit.
Not supposed to let that know.
Right?
I'm sporting a 320 credit score.
My two-go channels, obvious for every kid, was Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. I loved Our Real Monsters.
Oh
with,
yeah.
Bro,
my
I
boy
can't believe I
Ickis
forgot about that.
and Grum and Thumbelina, whatever her name is, and Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold,
Yeah.
I felt like I lived Hey Arnold. Like that was like the setup for me and my friends. Like
Stoop kid never leave stoop.
that was
Stoop
you.
kid
You a
never
stoop
leave the
kid.
stoop. You a stoop kid.
Nah, you was a stoop kid. Remember the last episode when Mom was like, "Oh, go play with your brother," and then that's when you met Phil. You was stoop kid.
What?
But anyway,
I was stoop kid the whole time.
so Real Monsters and Hey Arnold, but when the cable got cut off and you gotta jack the WAC channels right after school,
Oh
channel
man.
13, Arthur.
TBS.
Oh yeah.
Every day when I walking down the street, everybody to me.
Nobody touched my meat.
Dude, what? Wait, where did this go?
But anyway,
Oh man.
I think those are like my default three like cartoons, and then I liked the animated Batman series.
Oh yeah. Definitely got to bring that out there.
That was like man, that was back then. Yeah.
Wait,
Chris,
I got one that's very underrated. I don't know if you have ever seen it.
Let's say it at the same time. We say the same thing with best friends. All right.
It was on the local channels. It was never on cable channels.
Okay, so that's already eliminated. Forget it.
We're not friends.
It was one of my favorites. I don't know if it's a '90s cartoon, but I used to watch it 8 o'clock in the morning right before going to school, and it was just fire. It was very it was very underrated and under the radar. It was called Mummy Returns.
Oh my god!
I've never seen that before.
Mummy's alive. That one.
There you go.
Yo, I love
I
that.
only know it because he just sang the song. That's the only
fucking
reason.
dinosaurs, bro.
Hold
All I
on.
remember was
Both of y'all tell them your age, because that's the only reason why these guys both know it.
All three of us are on the same age.
Prehistoric.
Jeez. I'm a dinosaur.
Watch your mouth, Benjamin Button.
Wow.
Oh man.
Mine was Beast Wars Transformers.
Oh,
yeah, that was underrated.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh,
what was that
you and your boy Star Screech.
Oh, what he turned into in that one? What he turned into in that?
Jesus.
He turned into a pterodactyl.
Oh,
that's fire, bro.
That's perfect for him.
I got
one. Rat Trap.
Can you be my dad?
Man's favorite was Rat Trap.
Oh my god.
I don't know about y'all, bro, but I remember when I was young, I used to watch The Land Before Time with the dinosaurs.
I hate that movie.
That was a movie.
You was gonna say that.
I hate that movie.
Why did I know you was gonna say that?
Littlefoot.
Leave me alone,
I
bro.
was then gonna call you Littlefoot.
He likes movies
Littlefoot.
that have bad endings because you don't know what happens to them dinosaurs.
No, but that had like 12 parts, so
Littlefoot, Littlefoot 2.
My son Littlefoot alone.
Oh,
I'm Littlefoot and I got 2 left little feet.
he only walks sideways because his little foot.
Fucking Nemo's cousin.
This is my
watch
good foot.
Did you guys ever see Freakazoid?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one too.
This guy used to show up and be like, blah, 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 blah. "Hey guys, what are we going to?" I'm like, what the fuck is he saying?
Speaking of that sounds like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Stupid dog.
That's bro.
Cartoon gave me nightmares, bro.
You're Stoop Kid and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Bro, that cartoon used to give me nightmares.
Not Courage. That if you look at it now, it has some weird
yeah, bro.
It was dark.
Going on.
Yeah, it was dark,
very
man.
dark.
That was dark, bro. That was a dark part of my life.
Speaking of you see how dark and crazy Courage the Cowardly Dog was. They could never run that today.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
not.
they remade it. They
What?
animated it. Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know that.
I did not know this.
And now it's Courage the Brave Dog. He only fights.
They reanimated it.
He fights all the monsters.
It's just reanimated. Just
He
the same
shows up.
It's new episodes with
he
today's
shows up at the house.
animation.
He peeks in the door. He got a shotgun and he's like, "Shh, come on, Eustace, motherfucker." Boom.
Another weird one. I don't know if you guys used to watch it. Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah.
That
shit was
weird
fucking crude. If you actually pay attention to
no,
it,
if you watch it now, it's
fuck.
They were sick in the head.
What, bro?
Most definitely.
Yeah, you would definitely go out of business if you ran that stuff today. Like a bunch of that stuff.
I mean, that
How
shit
do
was
you guys
what
feel
happened.
about Recess?
Recess?
Fire.
Oh nah, I hated that 6ix9ine kid, bro.
What?
Bro. That kid that always used to snitch.
You hate Jay?
No, the Randu, his name was.
Randu, my boy Randu. I hate Randu
with the curly hair.
Yeah,
back when we were younger, Randu was a nudie.
That little motherfucker used to sniff that lady's fucking toilet seat when she got up.
What?
The lady he always used to go snitch to.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you he used to wait like when she came out the bathroom on the side of the door, then run in and smell the fucking toilet.
Yo, okay, we are transitioning. I'm sorry about that, but guys, I want to ask. So 90s cartoons, right? We know how we feel about that. how do we feel about the direction that cartoons are going into now? So like the cartoons like that Pro spoke about in the beginning, where he was like that he likes how Steven Universe is made and Rick and Morty, and even some of the like more, because those are like maybe like teenage cartoons. I consider them. So how do you guys think? How do you interpret the difference in the cartoons from then and now? Like, what do you like about it? What do you hate about it? I really want to know about that. How about Pro? Or Fat? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll go first.
Yeah, for sure.
Personally, I think the animation is a little well, not all shows, because there are shows out there that they do give a good effect, but I think some of these shows now, the animation is pretty doo doo.
Right.
Like I feel like some of these artists really put a pencil on the ass and just start drawing on a piece of paper.
Right.
Like especially these cartoons now that you trying to take from our generation and you're trying to bring them back, and then you're trying to do them in a different animation, and it's not working. Like I could give like Powerpuff Girls, Courage, as I mentioned earlier, and even Rugrats. They're doing a different animation than back then.
I will
I
have to say,
feel I
I will have
feel
to say Teen
as
Titans as well.
oh yeah, it's a whole nother story. But
So,
as growing up,
if I'm not
growing
mistaken, the way I'm understanding the concept that you're saying is, I don't know, maybe you've seen the show The Amazing World of Gumball.
yeah,
Oh,
I've
How
seen
it
it.
kind of
Yeah,
like it has like cartoonish, and they have like real things. Is
yeah.
that the line you're toting? Because that's what
Not
I'm picturing in my head.
not really. Like they're trying to bring in the real life aspect into that show. What I'm really talking about is like, say, I'm pretty sure everyone here has seen Rugrats,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
All
Yep.
right. If you watch the old Rugrats and you're watching it and you can see that all these kids are running around all over the place and each kid has a different pattern, and it almost looks like the the way they drew it, the image on the cartoon is like 3D-ish, and
Mm.
they put in depth into
So
the
the
animation,
art styles are very different.
very different. And
Oh,
then
okay, there we
with
go.
the Rugrats they do today, it's more of a 2D type of art where it's just side by side, and you don't see you don't see the cartoon at an overhead
Mm-hmm.
type of view, or from the back, or from down looking up. You
So
don't
you
get
prefer
different
the old
camera
art
as
style?
most definitely.
Okay.
On most cartoons, I definitely do. I know that old cartoons were a little more stiff when it comes to artwork and animation compared to now, but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like some of these shows and the animation are going backwards compared to actually going forward.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
my aspect on these cartoons. And there are shows like I mentioned earlier, Rick and Morty, hilarious as fuck. Like I really
Yeah.
love that show. And
I'm Pickle Rick.
the
Morty, I'm gonna need you to stick these seeds way up your butt, Morty.
Yo, what?
and
Yo.
it has an adult aspect into that show, where I
Yeah.
know these kids are getting a little more too mature and they throwing it in there. But with the animation, just talking about strictly animation, it gives me like a Simpson Family Guy vibe.
Right.
And that's what I love most about it, besides, the adult humor. But
Hmm.
that's my take on it.
I wanna swing it to Pro, because I feel like Pro having a background in film and that directory mentality. How do you feel about it, Pro? How do you look
So
at
going
this?
into what I had mentioned earlier on about Adventure Time and Steven Universe,
Hmm.
I like the whole like quirky, like art styles. I think it is different. Um, Whereas in the 90s, everything seemed more grounded to reality. You understand? I understand like Rocco's Modern Life. We had mentioned that, Hey Arnold, Recess, Rugrats. Now with shows like Adventure Time and Steven Universe, they play into your fantasy, into your imagination,
Hmm.
Yet they're still able to tie in reality in a way where, like, as an adult you could understand it and catch onto it, but as a child it could be just nonsense. You wouldn't really think it twice.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know,
Hmm.
um, like there's another show that I really love. It's like plastered throughout my whole apartment. And it's Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what I love about the show is that it's again it's a cartoon. So with cartoons, you're able to play with ludicrousness, but still keep things in that realm. You understand of fantasy, and I think that Bob's Burger does a great job with it being something that seems real, but also comedic, like all the time. I could never get on board with the Amazing World of Gumball, and I think that was something that I was questioning Fat's whole spiel about cartoons and they're changing. I just never really got into like the whole like one person looks like real, another person looks like a piece of paper. Like I don't know. For
One
me,
was a
just
banana.
yeah, I didn't like it so much, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's just me with that. There are shows where like I do stay away from it. I don't catch like any excuse me. I don't catch any like enjoyment out of them, and it would be something um like yeah, probably that, honestly, because the cartoons that I'm watching now are
Hmm.
typically just reruns of stuff that I already watched. So
Yeah.
I'll watch SpongeBob, I'll rewatch anything that I mentioned earlier before, and then I'll rewatch like episodes of Adventure Time because I genuinely find it funny. There's another show called Clarence,
Oh
right?
my god.
And for
That's
some
my.
reason, I watch that show and I'm always in fucking tears. You understand?
He's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm always in tears.
It's
There's
worth
one
it.
episode that me and my sister, my younger sister, always laugh at together, and it's the if you guys ever get the chance, it's the Pinata song, and it's like that, but it's really fucking funny. But again, for me at least, when it comes to like the more recent cartoons, it's not that I don't like them. Is that as of right now, I don't find anything that really that I gravitate to it. So that's why I'm gonna go with that.
Mm. Yeah, that's good. I understand where you're coming from. Everybody has a different look on what's good and what's bad in comparison to the 90s and now. So me personally, how I feel about that is I think now is more like they push a lot of things like that maybe cartoons back then wouldn't. Like, so I feel like cartoons are more free now. And in that saying, I feel like the art style is are more free. Like back then, I felt like again, I was younger. I was, so every cartoon looked like it was drawn the same to me. Now that I'm older, I will see a cartoon and I could see the art difference in it. I could see the humor differences in it. Like um they really try to nowadays cartoons are really trying to be different from every other cartoon out at the same time, as to where back then I felt like a lot of cartoons were like trying to hit the same thing at the same time. So like that's me personally and how I see. Me, I agree with Fat where I love the 90s over now due to the fact is that like they really like for me it's more like I like the
I mean,
artwork.
we had X-Men.
Yeah, we had so much stuff and then on top of that it was like
Come on, bub.
me being young, it really sticks. It really stuck. Like now, I see a show and I'm like, oh yeah, that's funny, but I'm not gonna remember it all the time. Like back, I could pretty much recite some of the episodes of Rocco's Modern Life. Like now, I don't know. They don't attach to me as much as they used to. Me personally, but Kev, how about you? How does it like? How's the art feel to you? What's the differences?
To
What do
be
you like
honest with
prefer?
you, I have to completely disagree with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
That's what we're about.
from like what you were saying, like like
Uh-huh.
they all stand out to me. They all look alike. Like all the cartoons look alike now. Like
Mhm.
they all like merged into like one basically. I feel like
Mm.
back then like people were like making cartoons because they wanted to, you know, like there was like some stuff would stand out, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like now everything is like smeared. I probably ever since like Flapjack came out, then it just had it. I think they were like really successful with that art style, so they just continued with that art direction.
Hmm.
Um, as for like the Teen Titans, I felt like the old ones was way better than the ones that they have now. Like,
I
Yeah.
second that.
but I do understand, you know, cartoons they mainly for kids. So they cater to the younger um to the younger people.
Demographic.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I personally I rather like the old cartoons, but I will say some of them are fire. Like bro did say, I love Adventure Time. Um, what else? Rick and Morty is fire, but Rick and Morty is like more like Adult Swim. That's like a
Hmm.
different thing. I don't know. I just feel like they're all basically the same. Like
Like there are
you could
shows.
put one cartoon like now you could take one character from a completely different cartoon, put them in a new cartoon, it'd be wouldn't really notice.
Oh, okay. So you feel that there's not too much difference
Yeah.
in what you see. Yeah, I kind of felt like that. Just to stay on that topic, I felt like that with a lot of the shows like Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, Simpsons, and then I found out that like most of them are all written by the same dude, or they,
Yeah.
you know. So like I
Yeah,
think,
right.
you
Not
know,
different.
like I've seen a lot of dad, mom, two kids, and then you have like either alien, a dog, or a mom lure. So I don't know, but that's basically that was that formula. So yeah, I can see what you're saying there. But Chris, how about you? How do you feel?
I don't
Me
like
personally, I don't really watch cartoons like that anymore.
Hmm.
Oh, I was
I
right.
would have to, yeah, because I don't have kids or anything like that. That is just on the TV, and I'll just happen to watch it.
Yeah.
I have to actively like look for it. If I'm watching anything cartoonish, it's mostly anime right now. But like the last good cartoon that I really liked was Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys remember
that
that
was a
one.
good one. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was like the
Oh
last
yeah.
cartoon that I've really was into, and then if ended for me like that. But as for like the artwork that you guys were saying, I really noticed it when they changed Ash from Pokemon and stuff, like the
Oh
whole
yeah.
Pokemon artwork.
Uh huh.
That killed it for me. Like
Yeah,
But that
they
that's
was
when
that was because he went to the Disney Channel though, no?
I don't know.
Because
I
I
have
think the
no idea,
recent
bro.
change of his art direction was because he went to Disney and they gave him more like a semi anime lookish kind of look.
I don't know. It looks
I think
stupid
that's what
though.
happened.
That's I think it's when he went to Sun and was it Sun and Moon? Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Yep. Sun and
Yeah,
Moon.
as soon as
Gen 7.
Alola, whatever. Yeah,
I do have some honorable mentions.
I didn't like that. My last thing is the only cartoons I will actively look for right now is like adult cartoons,
Yeah.
like you guys said, Rick and Morty, or for me the one I like right now is Big Mouth from
Yeah.
Netflix.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It's stuff like that I will watch cartoon wise, or if
I'm a
it's the '90s
dump
stuff.
truck.
But that's if it's not
Oh my!
if it's not '90s
Who wants
or
to
stuff
see me
like
dip
that,
rip?
I won't watch it.
Oh man.
Make it through with
So pro,
I
you
just
said
have some
you had some
Rick and
honorables.
Steve.
Yeah. Go ahead.
three honorable mentions that I have that I think the regular show. I love that show. Um what was the other one? The Marvelous Adventures of Flapjack, Misadventures
Mm,
of Flapjack
yeah.
with Captain Knuckles and
Yeah.
Flapjack.
Yeah,
And
that cartoon was actually pretty funny.
there was an episode that I remember when Captain Knuckles was like, "I wish my eyes were gold," and then they gave him gold eyeballs, and he's like, "I'm blind. I
I
can't
remember
see."
that.
I
I
was
remember that
fucking
episode.
crying. So it
Yeah.
would be the regular show, The Misadventures of Flapjack, and then Samurai Jack.
Oh
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
Samurai
good one.
Jack is fire too.
Well, to end this one, definitely my honorable mention would be Chowder. I don't know if you have ever seen that show. It's pretty
Oh
funny.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the real life you.
100%. You're not my girlfriend. No, but guys, I have a story. Oh man, I have a story for you today, and I know y'all probably have one of these stories. So the story goes exactly like this, and if I'm lying, I'm dying. So Christmas, probably like, oh man, I'll say like 10, when did 360 come out? Xbox 360. Whenever it did, maybe like a year after that. It was that Christmas specifically. I remember Pro throughout the year he had bought himself a Xbox 360, and this guy was acting like he was gold. Right? He was acting like can nobody touch his 360 because this is my 360, and he knew me and my brother Nudie wanted to play.
I paid for it.
But he was like,
for it.
nah, I don't want nobody touching my 360. It's mine, whatever, right? So I remember that
Actually, no.
Christmas.
I definitely used to let our brother play.
You definitely let Nudie play. He didn't let me play because
Yeah,
he
was
has
fucking
favorites.
hammerhead. That's why.
He had favorites. But again, that's not the story. The story is
Devon, get the table.
the best part of the story is my mom that Christmas gets me a Xbox 360. Surprised me and my brother. We both get an Xbox 360, right? And this dude Pro starts crying. He starts crying and he starts storming. He starts storming home. He went from home because we was at our aunt's house, right? He starts storming home like he's upset because we got Xbox 360. And I know I just felt so good because
wonder he was defending the Grinch the other day.
Yep.
This
This guy, he's the Grinch, yo. And I kid you not, he wasn't crying. He was just upset. He was upset, and it was just like, like I was happy that I got the Xbox 360.
Max, get the Slayer.
I was so happy that I got the 360 because man, I wanted one so bad personally because I seen Pro play his, and it was so fun. I remember like games like Halo 3, and Gears of War, man, and that's to me, man, that was
the
one
only
of
games I had at the time was just Gears and Fight Night and Splinter Cell.
Oh,
Yeah, but again, personally, man, that story, I was thinking about that story today because I'm like, man, what is my favorite gift I've ever received? And I was like, man, what is my favorite gaming gift? Cause I had so many gaming gifts throughout the years that I was like, oh man, I wanted to ask the guys. Like, but yeah, that's my story and that's my favorite gift I've received that had anything to do with video games. I want to hear some of yours. So if anybody has one, take it away. Anybody?
I got a couple of them.
I never got anything for Christmas. No, I'm fucking with y'all.
I got a couple of them.
Go ahead. I want to hear some.
First, I would just want to make a note, Pro. I know how you feel. Just letting you know.
Oh man,
I'm on your side, brother.
That's why we the big brothers.
So I've gotten about 4, maybe 5 systems for like around Christmas time and birthdays or whatever. I just want to note that my story now has to do with my latest system having to be given as a gift. My fiance, the best woman in the world right now.
Shout out to Fast Fiance.
She goes above and beyond for me. And when it comes to birthdays, anniversary, Christmas, she does it. She does it big. Right now she's outdoing herself. I don't know if she can get any more creative on her gifts or whatever. So, the Switch comes out, and I was that person that I didn't want to get it yet because there weren't enough games for me to buy into it.
I literally waited a whole year before I got my Switch.
So I was gonna do that, and eventually I was gonna buy it, but things happen, and it looks like it's slow, whatever. So my everybody's starting to get their Switch. Everybody, I start throwing my game night, my first game night. I don't have a Switch. Chris brings his with Smash Bros. We get it in. Mind you, I don't have my own. One day, my girl tells me, "Yo, I'm gonna visit you after work, and then I'm gonna go, but I have something." Now, this wasn't. I don't know if this was planned. This shit just came out of left field or whatever.
It was planned.
Okay, there you go. So one day she comes over, and I'm living at my mom's house at the time. And she comes and she's like, "Okay, I have something." She walked in. She didn't have no bag, so I'm like, "What the fuck?" All right. Um, so she goes to my room and she brings out a bag. I'm like, "Where the fuck that came from?" Um, she gives me the bag, and when I open the bag, it is a brand new Nintendo Switch with the game with Smash Bros.
You gotta
And
love it. You gotta love it.
I do, and it is amazing that she does it time after time because she's the one who bought me my Xbox One, and now she got me a Switch, and it's like those two things, and she doesn't have to because those game systems are expensive. They run $300-400 each, especially with the game coming out more expensive than its tax. But definitely caught me off surprise. And so I don't know who did it. Took a picture of me and my reaction. Now was a meme out there somewhere.
I have that pic. I think I took it.
So
man.
and that has to be like my favorite memory when it comes to game system being given and birthday, Christmas celebration. And she always does it. And that's
You're gonna be
the
like,
story
oh
I'm about to
yeah,
share.
only that one.
I mentioned the Xbox too, but that's why we talk about game systems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome. That's special right there. Chris, I know you got a story for us. I know you got a story.
Um, mine's nothing recent because nowadays you buy your own systems. You work and shit. Nobody buys you anything unless you got a girl like Fat. But mine are like old systems. Like I remember when I got the the thin PS1. I don't know if you guys remember that one, the slim PS1, the gray one.
This is it the little one?
The little one, yeah, the small one.
Yeah,
I
It's
remember
literally PS1.
Oh yeah. I remember.
I got that with I
Yeah,
went
but too
one
young for
day.
that one.
The spot always when I was young with my brother that my dad would take us is Toys R Us. That was always the spot.
Oh yeah.
And we wasn't if we ever go
RP.
there, we knew we was leaving with something. We always knew.
Hmm.
So I remember that day I bought the PS1 and I had we each picked the game. I think he picked I forgot what he picked, something whack, and I picked Final Fantasy 7, of course. But I don't that wasn't like I think that was like I think it was like a birthday. I don't know if it was really a birthday or a Christmas gift. I think it was just out of nowhere kind of gift.
Man, those are the best ones. The ones you don't see coming. Those are the best ones.
And the only other one is birthday. Way back when the Game Boy Advances were out, they got me the purple one.
Hey.
Yeah.
I had that one too. We
That
are
was
best friends.
those were like
They
the
redeemed themselves.
those were like the big ones. And my mom also got me I don't know if you remember the 360 that came with I think it was a Call of Duty 360. I don't know if it was Modern Warfare 3. I forgot which 360 it was, but it had like the design and stuff on it.
Oh, that's fire.
That was a Christmas one I got. But that's like the best ones I could think of because nowadays you buy your own and there's no surprise unless you like buy
you
it
already
and
know
forget
you
about
getting
it.
Yeah, you already know you getting it. The excitement is worn off. You're happy, but you ain't as happy as when somebody buys you something.
Exactly.
Because they were thinking about you. That's where
Exactly.
So pros, you had anybody think about you, brother?
Yeah,
Yeah.
two notable times
I
is
think
my
about him every night.
PlayStation,
Yo, what?
my PlayStation with Final Fantasy 7, and this was back I think 2003 or 2004. I'm not too sure. When the GameCube came out, that it had the Zelda bundle. I don't know if you guys
Oh, uh
Mm,
huh.
remember. As
Yeah.
it
yeah.
came with it came
Wind
with
Waker.
this. It came no, didn't come with Wind Waker. It came with the
The
Zelda
collection.
bundle. Yeah, and you was able to play Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time,
Ocarina
and
of
the other
Time,
two
one,
games.
two,
Yeah,
and then a preview of Wind Waker.
yeah, and I didn't expect that at all because that's not something I asked for. Like as you get older, you start caring less and less about things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like as I got older, the gifts started changing. You went from a lot of gifts to a little bit of gifts to like one or two gifts. So I was just grateful that I was just thought of. But when my mom gave me the GameCube and I opened it up, you guys ever seen that YouTube video, the meme where the kid opens up the thing, he's like, "Oh my god! Oh
Yeah,
my god!"
N64.
Yeah, bro, I was literally that was me. I was like, "Oh my god!" Even though I had played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, it was a GameCube. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah.
talking about it at the time. I ended up getting Wind Waker right after that, soon time after that, and then I would just be if you were to talk to my mom, she'd probably tell you that that's the one system I was on every single day of my life. And I loved it the most because in my house we have quite a few siblings, and what we would
Mm.
do is we would buy games that we could play together. So if it wasn't Mario Kart Double Dash, we'd have like Mario Kart nights. It would be so fucking fun. If we didn't do that, we would buy like. Do you guys remember those over the top dungeon crawler games with like the X-Men,
Yeah.
Marvel Alliance?
Al-
We used to play that
Alliance,
shit all the fucking time.
Yep.
Like we was
the
addicted.
Legends.
Like I mentioned, Smash Brothers, Double Dash, Luigi's Mansion, Beautiful Joe. Nobody ever talks about Beautiful Joe, but I love him. I
Yeah.
wish if you guys are hearing this, um, Nintendo and Sakurai, please drop Beautiful Joe for the Switch as games. What is it? DLC games, whatever it's called.
Does he smash character?
That I would love him to Smash. Henshin a go go baby. But yeah, those were my I just love the GameCube. Like there was nothing about the GameCube that I thought was wrong with it.
Right.
I know a lot of people didn't like it. I
I
remember
loved it.
when we got Four Swords and you was able to play with the Game Boy
Oh,
Advance
Four Swords
and
was
look
amazing.
down on the Advance and then play at the same time. Like
You have a quick
what I love.
question.
Yeah,
My fault. Did you ever, speaking on the GameCube, did you ever have that attachment on the bottom that lets you play Game Boy Advance games?
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Bro, playing
So.
Pokemon like Leaf Green and shit on the
Mhm.
first time on the
Mm-hmm.
TV?
So it was that, and I always felt like Nintendo. I know Nintendo gets a lot of shit for them being like, kid friendly, but that's the demographics. They want to make money. You understand? You target a group that's gonna get you money, and that's one of them. But at the same time, I feel like they always thought outside of the box, and you can't hold it to a candle to the flame when a lot of companies are copying them. Sony started dropping the PS Move shit, the fucking light things. You
Yeah.
understand? And then Xbox with like the Connect and the gestures and stuff like that. Nintendo sets a trend and then everyone tries to copy it. But going back to the
Mm-hmm.
GameCube, um, like I said, I would play my GameCube 24/7. Whenever I had the chance and my friends would come over, that's what we'd be doing is playing GameCube. And I want to shout out to my mom, one fucking person that always thought of my best interests and my hobbies, and I'm glad that she gave me that outlet. Because I feel like a lot of parents think like games will rot your brain, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or for some parents they want to give their kids the game so they can shut up and leave them alone.
Mm.
Hmm.
But if you just take the second to play a game for what it is, don't take it serious and enjoy yourself, you can immerse yourself in a world that you could never do in real life. You understand?
Yep.
But that's
Hmm.
what I have to say. Thanks for that GameCube, mom. I'm gonna try to find one to use on eBay and dip it in gold.
Hey.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Kev, how about you, Mister? I get a new Game Boy Advance every plane flight.
That's nuts. That was. We're not gonna talk about that. That was the last podcast. um, to be honest, the best gift, like game system that I ever got for Christmas, and I was beasting for it, and I don't know why. Y'all probably make fun of me, but I was beasting for the Wii, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I remember.
I was beasting for it, bro. I asked my mother, I asked my grandmother, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if y'all remember, but when the Wii came out, it was like wildfire. Like nobody had it anywhere.
Yep.
Like it was sold out everywhere.
They were setting it upwards
Yeah,
like
that's
$500-$600.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so I
It
told my
was out of
mom,
stock for a long
whatever.
time.
I told my mother, like, I want the Wii or whatever the case may be. And she's like, oh, like, I try to look for it, I can't, they don't have it anywhere. So I was like, you know what? All right, maybe I'll get it, when they restock but I was broken. I was a broken man. So Christmas came around, got the, the regular Christmas gifts, clothes, probably some new sneakers, stuff like that.
You took the pics and you had the fake smile, like this ain't the Wii.
Yeah, say what the fuck I
Like-
wanted.
Like, where's the toys?
My
So
man
we
ripped his
done.
shirt off his body.
We done.
He was walking around the
And
house
me and
swole.
my brother, we bad kids. Whenever my mother, when my mother went Christmas shopping, and she did whatever she had to do for us. We always try to look for the presents before Christmas, and we always found them. They're like either hidden in the closet or under the bed, but
Yo,
we always ruin Christmas. But that one Christmas, she got us.
she
And then
eluded you.
Yeah. She threw me off the tracks.
That's it.
So yeah, we finished opening all the presents or whatever. And I'm like, damn, I didn't get it, but maybe sometime in the future I'll get it. She comes out with this big ass box. Like I was like, what is this? So open it. It ends up being the Wii. I was ecstatic. I ended up playing like I probably played Wii Fit or Wii Sports for like the next 6 months after that.
Yo,
The best.
I'm the best bowler.
Yeah, if you had
I
the
love the
Nintendo, if you had the Wii,
tennis game.
if you had the Wii, you didn't need any other game other than Wii Sports. This is
That's
why
so true.
I have the physique that I have today. Thanks, Mom, for getting me the Wii, and now I really appreciate it.
Now that you say
She
that,
went all
Cav,
out.
I didn't get a Wii, and look at me. Mom, you should got me a Wii, ma.
You got the Wii, bro. You would have been
chiseled.
Top tippity shape, bro.
He got an
So, yeah,
Xbox, and now he looks like
my
what?
mom definitely. My mom definitely went all out for that Christmas, and she actually ended up paying more than what it was. So I really appreciate it.
Man. So you guys will always say that you guys were hyped when you guys got these gifts, right?
OD.
So tell me something. Tell me something. Have you ever been hyped for a video game, and when it comes out, it is completely like left of what you expected? Yo, like I swear this happens to me time and time again because I am a hype train mogul. I am the conductor of hype trains. And Anthem was that train. Oh man,
I liked Anthem.
Anthem was that train.
You drugged me down with you,
dude.
Yo,
I was so hyped.
Me that game, right? And I kept telling him, "Don't get it for me. Don't get it for me. Don't get it for me. The game is gonna be terrible." And look,
hear me out, guys. Let me tell my story, because this is how mad I am. I'm so hyped for this game that I'm like, yo, I want people to play with. I start telling Kev, I start telling Chris, I start telling Pro. Pro's telling me, nah, I'm not getting it. I don't think it's gonna be good. I'm like, man, you're mad high maintenance. This game's gonna kill it. You know, E3 was just sparking it out of like it was like fireworks when that game was on main stage, right? And I get this game, bro, and of course the game is fire day one. You know, day one everything's fire because you got new game syndrome. You know, but day two hit me hard. Day two hit me hard, dude. Yo, mind you, I did not only buy this game once, but I bought it twice for myself and for Pro. And I'm like, bro, yo, this game's awesome. Day two hit me. I'm like, this is garbage, man. Yo, the expectations fell so below, bro. And then all the like rumors and things I heard day two coming out of the developers were having mental breakdowns. I'm like, that's not good, dude. So that game goes down for one of the biggest hypes I've ever had, and it was just never met the expectation of what it could have been. So give Anthony the biggest hee haw, Pro. Give me hee haw for Donkey of the Day. But no, guys, what is something like that for you guys? What is something that you were excited for that just didn't meet your expectations? Anyone?
Anthem gets 5 farts out of 5.
I could go first. I could go first on this one.
I actually like Anthem. It had a good run for me.
For me, so I'm gonna give you a little
backstory.
Yeah, a little bit backstory. When Call of Duty came out, I was probably like the biggest Call of Duty head. I bought all of them. Call of Duty 4, probably one of my favorites. World at War, another one of my favorites. Modern Warfare 2, fire. Black Ops, fire, right? You see the trend, right? Black Ops, fire. Modern Warfare 3, fire, right?
He gets a ghost.
Oh, he got me. He got me. Yo, bro. You couldn't understand the momentum that Call of Duty had right until Ghost came out.
Oh,
because
man.
they had me in their pockets. I was buying every Call of Duty, every release date, bro. I remember me saying this earlier in like one of the podcasts. That game really put me into retirement. I put the controller down. I said I was done with Call of Duty, and I didn't pick it up until probably really for real, like Black Ops 4. But that's like how many years? It's like 5 years.
That's a couple games. That's a couple.
Yeah, bro.
Jeez.
That game made me miserable. It was fucking awful.
So it affected you that bad that you could not purchase them. Damn.
Oh, that's the reason I'm not a professional player today.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I could have been playing for Chicago Huntsmen alongside my man Scum.
But you from New York.
They fucking terrible.
They are terrible.
You could have made them better.
They're terrible, and their name is terrible. New York Subliners. Oh my god, that's
I don't subscribe to them.
The only New York esports team I respect is my old Dubs team.
Overwatch.
Excelsior.
Yeah. Shout out to the NYXL.
I still got the skills with the sticks today though. So
that sounds so bad because like Ghost came out and I feel like everybody had that reaction.
Like if you hear the title Ghost, you're thinking of Ghost from Modern Warfare 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nothing about that.
You're thinking Heat.
It's thinking Heat.
Yeah.
Hot.
You got a name like Call of Duty Ghost, and your game is trash. I'm sorry.
I mean, and named it after him.
They
both died.
The main reason it let everybody down is because that was the first. I think that was the first COD for these systems, this gen, for Xbox One and PS4.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, how is that the first COD you coming out with for this gen, and it's that,
Yeah, it's hot
and
dog
it
shit.
was not good. Because I came in because I agree with Kev. That would have been mine too.
That's by far
The
the
Call of
worst
Duties,
game.
starting from that one
Yeah.
to like maybe most recently, because I didn't even really mess with Black Ops 3 that much. It was
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't mess with Black Ops 3 either.
It was really 4 that got me really
4
back
got me back
into
into it. Yeah.
COD. Yeah. So from
I
Ghost
have to give y'all credit
4,
too, because if y'all didn't, it wasn't like, yo, Kev, like, yo, get on, like, we're gonna play Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then
so-
another one is, I mean, I liked it, but it turned out to be hot garbage, but I still like it. Is also what Felipe said, Anthem, right? That was the one you said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I really like it still, but
might
It
be
had
like
its
some
run.
light
if they
at the end of the
It
tunnel
had its
sup-
run.
for Anthem. They said that they're gonna rework it.
yeah, supposedly they're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
They're doing a huge
Yeah.
overhaul.
rework it or something. If they redo everything and it's more like Destiny
And it's free.
and it's free, then you got me.
I just want my
If it's
$135
free,
back.
That's
it's
also
for
another
me.
one. My 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 last one would be Destiny 2 when it first came out. It was really shitty
Yeah.
I was
compared
Yeah.
to
upset with that.
Destiny 1.
I was
But then
hyped.
they fixed it.
I didn't
But
actually
that's
didn't play Destiny when it came out.
I hated that because I fucking put in so many hours into D1 because D1 was kind of shitty too until they started dropping like better DLC. I'm not gonna disagree. But then D2 drops and I'm just like I'm fucking hype. I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna do this shit. And nope, they literally did the same thing they did with the
Same
first game to
exact
this one.
shit.
And bro, it was annoying because I put in so many hours into the first one and it's a franchise that I really do like. Like I really love Destiny.
Yep.
But
Mm.
that whole thing that they did was starting it and then dropping it just fucking annoyed the shit out of me. But continue, my bad.
No, I was done.
I was done as well. Anybody can go.
Yeah. So, Pro, how about you? Sticking
Right.
with you.
So he Destiny 2 was one of them for me, but I do have one that kind of just annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge Fallout fan.
Oh, yeah. I know where
I
this
play
is
them
going.
all, even the PC ones, right? Now, what annoys me is Fallout 4, you could tell my wife. You can ask my wife. She could tell you that I was beasting. I would call if you guys live in the New York area. You could always get a game before it drops. Ain't nobody out here waiting for release dates. I'm not gonna hold you guys to it. All right,
Jeez.
I'm gonna be real. So
Oh, man.
I hit up
They get
my
it from the
boy.
side spots.
He's like, yeah, you know what? I got you. The game originally dropped on Friday, but he already had it that Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
So I pull up in an Uber, I get the game, I come home, I pop it in, and it's Fallout 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hype, I'm playing it, and for some reason, I really don't like the story. I don't like a little bit of the stuff. They switched like, a lot of the guns, the mechanics, and I'm just like, ah, man, this shit is kind of ass. So where I would normally put in so many hours into it, I was putting less and less hours because I wasn't enjoying it. Eventually, I went through with the game, I beat it, but afterwards, Bethesda did a smart thing of adding mods to the game. So
Mm-hmm.
you was able to add things into the game, like you could add lightsabers, you could add military guns. Like there was so many mods. You could actually play the game from beginning to end with essentially cheat codes, unlimited ammo, unlimited health,
Right.
whatever. And that changed the whole game for me, and I was able to enjoy it then. Piggybacking off of Fallout 4 was Fallout 76. I've always wanted to play a game of Fallout with my friends. I like surviving stuff, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
But 76 for the price that they were asking for was so shit. And then when I was reading reviews, because I read a lot more than I see the reviews, because for me, you could tell the difference when somebody, I don't know, maybe it's just me. I could tell the difference when somebody like legit play the game to give a actual review, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to like IGN for like rushes it out almost. You understand?
Yeah. And here it
And
is taking.
yeah, and with 76, I was just like, God damn, this game is so ass. I didn't buy it. I was able to play with Savage during I think the free weekend. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Definitely
And
did.
we played it when they had the battle royale. But because battle royale game types in the games are good, I'm not discrediting it because I love PUBG. Black Ops 4 blackout mode I thought was good, but it kind of got stale because of the way people played.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you guys know how I feel about Fortnite. But the Fallout 76 like their BR mode wasn't enough. You understand?
Yeah.
Sometimes piggybacking off of somebody else's success may not work for you. That your game doesn't need that mode. You
Hmm.
understand? So I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. It,
Um,
it it didn't work.
Crackdown,
If
I knew was gonna be a fucking flop.
from what I heard, they shit the bed on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Crackdown. Yeah. That's terrible.
Crackdown was another one where like Crackdown 1 is a classic, 2 was shit, and 3 was fucking shit. A game that gets pushed back upon release, right? Meaning that if your game is supposed to come out next week, whatever the date is, and they go, listen, we're gonna drop it back a couple of more months for us to polish, then that time
Yeesh,
comes out,
that's a
and they
bad
push it back
sign.
a whole year, then 2 years. Something is wrong. You understand?
Hmm.
You know something is wrong with your game, and then you drop the game and the game is fucking terrible. I didn't have enjoyment. I didn't like it. I thought it was terrible. And thank God that Xbox has the Game Pass, because I would not in my right mind pay 65, plus whatever to get the game. It's just impossible. I wouldn't do it, you
Same.
know.
I was so ecstatic for it because again, like you said, Crackdown 1 was awesome. Like it was amazing. But Fat, do you have any game like that? Do you have?
Yeah, I got a couple of them.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off what y'all said, Destiny 2 and Anthem. Like I
Hmm.
enjoyed them for a little bit, and but then it went to shit. And there was somebody telling me, "Yo, it's gonna be trash. Don't even bother." And I should have listened to him, but I didn't. Whatever, you
Gentlemen, don't
know.
forget to watch Parasite. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. And um, two games that really fucked me up was one. Chris could vouch for this. Was um Wildlands, Tom Clancy, um, Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I
Yeah.
fucking
You
hate
talking
that
about
game.
wetlands?
Is it? I don't. Is it Wetlands? I don't know.
No,
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 it's
no,
Wildlands.
no.
It's Wildlands.
I fucking
It's
hate that
whatever.
game.
But it was so
It
glitchy,
was
you
so
couldn't really
buggy.
enjoy it.
Don't speak of this
For
game.
those who don't know, the origination of Fair Shake came from the second part.
Oh
Then
man.
the ultimate game that completely let me down, and I'll make this as quick as possible. When I was working for the Kips Bay Boys and Girls Club, I wasn't getting paid much, so I had, instead of buying games, I resulted into renting them from GameFly.
Okay.
So
Smart.
I'm a huge DBZ head. Every game that comes out, good or bad, I give it a shake and I play it. For 360 is the system that I was into at the time. Burst Limit 1, Burst Limit 2. I was really not Burst Limit, Raging Blast 1 and 2 were really good games to me. And Ultimate Tenkaichi. And then they came out with this game. It was called Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z. It was supposed to be, a 3D area where it was supposed to play as Budokai 3. And I was hyped for it and I wanted to play it. I'm that type of person that plays every single DBZ game, good or bad. I rented from GameFly. I waited fucking 3 weeks for that shit. I finally got it. I popped that shit in my Xbox, and my little brother could tell you he was with me, waiting for me to play it. I popped that shit in. Not even 3 minutes go by. I took that shit out, sent it right the fuck back to GameFly. I could not. That
Jeez,
game
man.
was that bad. Not even 3 minutes. And I was like, you know what? Fuck you. And I sent that shit right the fuck back.
I'm surprised Pro didn't say Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
right. He has been
But
bashing it.
the thing is that I feel about this, right? The reason why I don't like Kingdom Hearts 3 is because they took 10 years to get this game to come out, right? For whatever reason. It's source material, it's heavily relies on like the new films of like Tangled, Frozen, and such, right? The game mechanics of the game wasn't like, oh, I was blown away like I wasn't too. You understand? And they added so much of these filler games. By the time I got to the actual 3, I didn't care for it. I thought the game was subpar. The the voice acting was not on point. Um, there's only so much I could hear about hearts and the unknown and the inverse and verse and whoever doesn't fucking exist because it's convoluted like that. You understand? And then you don't know if you're supposed to want to be Roxas or you're supposed to want to be Sora, or they're one and the
Right.
same. You understand? But it just like fucks you up. I don't necessarily hate the game entirely. There are aspects of the game that I do enjoy. But for me, I just don't think that it it's indicative of what the game could have been. You understand? You have a 10-year gap between anything. You understand? I would hope that you make something from the ground up that really works, that really seems cohesive and coherent, and I just didn't feel that way about that game. In my honest opinion, I wish I could just clean it and wipe it straight. Like if the Men in Black popped up, if Will Smith knocked on my door and said, "You need a favor," and I was like, "Yeah, just fucking erase Kingdom Hearts 3 for me," I'd ask him to do that shit.
Got you. Oh man, guys,
That's
that
some
that's something
that's
else.
some
But
real life hatred.
listen, boys, amazing podcast as always. As always, another amazing podcast. But before we end, ladies and gentlemen, the listeners out there, I want to just say thank you for sticking with us for these episodes. There's more to come. Be excited for what's to come. We have so much more in stored. We're only going up. We're only going to continue to further this podcast and make it grow. So I want you guys down below in the comment section on YouTube or wherever you can get it to us. One, follow social medias, but most importantly, just tell us something, a topic that you would like us to use in maybe a future podcast, because we want you guys to interact with us, because you guys are part of the Fair Shake Army, so we love you guys. Thank you. But with that being said, as always, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Have a great morning. Get going and always know that you got this. And ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.
Put him in a coffin.